Over the past year, the Skyrim modding community has continued to amaze us, bringing incredible mods that completely transform the game. From brutal decapitations to imaginative creatures, moving ships, and powerful new magic. Whether you seek thrilling combat or breathtaking exploration, the mods in this video are must-haves. So today, we're going to showcase over 100 individual mods from the past year to give you the ultimate haul of incredible Skyrim creations.
I choose this as our goal.
Creatures of none.
All men are kings. If he breathes, he is sin.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Not Samson and Broom, all right? Won't be!
I'd like to give a massive thanks to Boot Dev for sponsoring this video. Coding can feel overwhelming. I know it did for me. There's just so much to learn and it's easy to get lost before you even start. But with Boot Dev, it actually gets simpler. Boot Dev breaks down coding into clear, easy to follow lessons that make sense, instead of throwing you into confusion. Plus, you get your very own AI tutor, Boots, who's been trained on every lesson and knows exactly what you're working on. If you ever get stuck, Boots doesn't just give you the answer, he asks follow-up questions, nudges you back on track, and makes sure you really learn. Boot Dev has you earning XP, leveling up, unlocking achievements, completing quests, and even fighting bosses, all while you're learning real coding skills. They also offer a free interactive demo of every course, and a 30-day no questions asked refund policy. So head to boot.dev and use my code HEAVYBURNS to get 25% off your entire first year on the annual plan. Again, thanks to Boot Dev for supporting the channel, but without further ado, let's get into the video. To kick things off, let's dive into some immersion mods that enhance the game's realism and make Skyrim feel more alive and natural than ever before. Animated Carriages introduces actual moving carriages across Skyrim, adding a dynamic new way to travel for those who prefer not to fast travel and prefer walking or running everywhere. But even if you do fast travel, it's not just about getting from point A to point B. These roaming carriages bring a variety of exciting and immersive scenarios. You can find soldiers transporting enemy prisoners, or perhaps stumble upon a lively carriage party. Each encounter offering something fresh and unique. With so many different variations, these carriages make for a delightful surprise whenever you come across one. To increase the chances of encountering these moving carriages and expand the routes, consider pairing this mod with Animated Carriages Additional Routes to help improve the original mod. In vanilla Skyrim, Falmer servants are laughable. They're essentially reskinned bandits lurking in Blackreach, distinguished only by their ragged attire and recycled dialogue. They pretty much lack any resemblance of personality, providing nothing more than a standard enemy template. However, if you find their blandness immersion breaking, fear not. The Falmer Servant Lines expansion introduces an impressive 483 new, fully voiced dialogue lines to breathe life into these otherwise forgettable foes.
My masters have commanded your death. The Falmer will rise again!
Additional Falmer Servant locations ensures that the slaves appear more frequently in areas where Falmers reside, deep within their dungeons. Since the new dialogue lines are fantastic, it would be a shame to hear the new dialogue lines only in Blackreach, so this plugin expands upon their presence, giving you more opportunities to encounter them. Unique Falmer Servants adds more individuality to Falmer Servants. While they'll still wear their signature rags, some may also sport slightly different outfits that fit the grim aesthetic of being a Falmer slave, in a twisted, fitting way. Have you ever wished Skyrim's vast oceans felt a little more alive, bustling with activities instead of empty and lifeless? Animated Ships is the perfect mod to change that. This mod breathes new life into Skyrim seas by adding a variety of AI-controlled boats, from massive Imperial cruisers cutting through the open waters to small sailboats patrolling the docks of major cities. These animated vessels create a dynamic and immersive maritime experience. For me, Animated Ships is an essential addition to any playthrough, transforming Skyrim's quiet coastlines to thriving hubs of activity. But this mod isn't just for show. You can actually board these ships and take a ride. Each vessel is populated with NPCs suited to the region, whether it's soldiers patrolling for enemy threats or merchants transporting valuable goods. These ships feel like they have a real purpose in Skyrim's world. To enhance the experience even further, consider adding Animated Ships Finer Sails. This companion mod upgrades the texture quality of ship sails, turning every sail into a visual masterpiece. Best of all, these improvements come with minimal to no impact on performance. With animated ships and finer sails, Skyrim's oceans will feel more vibrant, immersive, and alive than ever before. Back in 2021, Bethesda decided to add fishing to Skyrim as part of the Anniversary Edition update. A pretty good feature, but the actual fishing felt a little clunky. Luckily, that's where immersive fishing comes in. This mod adds a touch of immersion to your fishing experience with the Creation Club content. Instead of the fishing rod awkwardly floating in midair, it's now properly held in your character's hands in a more natural look. When you successfully catch a fish or object, your character will proudly pose with their prize, adding a satisfying visual reward to your efforts. The mod also introduces brand new animations for casting the rod, idling, and reeling in your catch, making the entire fishing process feel smoother, more engaging, and somewhat true to life. Ever found yourself with a packed inventory overflowing with random items you just want to get rid of? Or perhaps you've encountered a pesky Daedric artifact that you can't seem to dispose of? Look no further than the Ethereum Forge destroys items. For those who prefer a more satisfying, controlled way of getting rid of your unwanted loot, this mod offers a perfect solution. It introduces a unique way to dispose of unwanted items by casting them into the lava at the Ethereum Forge. When you drop an item into the forge's molten pool, it triggers an explosion, and then the item is permanently destroyed. The type of explosion depends on the item's nature, adding a variety of visual flair to the experience. Destroying Daedric artifacts comes with an added risk. The Daedric princes won't take kindly to your actions. They will have a voice line reaction if you destroy their artifact.
I will send you to oblivion.
The mod offers a satisfying and immersive way to rid yourself of cursed items. While exploring the dense, untamed forests of Skyrim, you may find yourself venturing deep into the wilderness, either hunting animals for sport, to gather food for survival, or simply experience the thrill of the hunt. However, on occasion, you'll come across other hunters on the same mission. In vanilla Skyrim, these hunters simply kill their prey and walk away, making the act feel rather hollow and kinda pointless. Hunters, loot, and skin animals solves that issue by adding more depth and realism to their behaviour. After a hunter kills their prey, they will approach the carcass and loot the items, adding a purpose to their actions. If you have Open Animation Replacer, a skinning animation will play. And if you also have Simple Hunting Overhaul installed with the appropriate foe mod options, the carcass will be skinned. By installing this mod, hunters in Skyrim's wilderness will feel more realistic and engaging, turning their actions into meaningful parts of your adventures and significantly enhancing the overall immersion. Next, we move on to Missives, a unique missives board. A follow-up to the original Missives mod, this version introduces 4 distinct missive boards, each located in Falkreath, Dawnstar, Morthal, and Winterhold. Each board is designed to reflect its unique style of its respective City of the North overhaul. Though it's important to note, you don't need City of the North mods installed to use this mod. These boards are fully standalone, allowing you to selectively add whichever ones you prefer to your game, offering you more variety and immersion without the need for additional mods. Ivarstead Source adds a much needed water source to the river flowing alongside Ivarstead. This seemingly minor yet significant addition enhances the area in a way that feels entirely natural. In fact, it's a change that, in my opinion, should have been already part of the vanilla game. The mod addresses the issues with the water flow system, which, as highlighted in the detailed video on the mod page, doesn't quite make sense in its original state. While exploring the mysterious realm of Hermaeus Mora's Apocrypha, have you ever wondered why there are so many books and floating pieces of paper? Yet, none of them are readable. Even the walls seem to be made of books, but nothing is interactive. Well, now you can finally dive into the vast repository of knowledge thanks to Apocryphal Library. Browse the endless stacks of books, unearth forgotten wisdom, and uncover ancient texts. This mod utilizes the power of Base Object Swapper to make certain book stacks and paper piles in Apocrypha searchable. As you explore, you'll discover new books and leaflets, many drawn from the Imperial Library and older Elder Scrolls games, giving you a deeper connection to the lore of the Elder Scrolls universe. These new interactive books and notes include journals, untranslated tomes, new books not present in the vanilla game, and even Apocrypha-specific texts full of cryptic knowledge. If you're passionate about Skyrim's lore, this is an essential mod that brings the mysteries of Apocrypha to life. Have you ever been strolling through a town minding your own business when suddenly, BAM! A rude, obnoxious child appears out of nowhere and insults you for no reason? Well, now, you don't have to be the only one on the receiving end of such cheeky behaviour. Cheeky kids is a mod that makes children act more like, well, children, instead of being silent or overly polite. Now they'll approach other NPCs and throw out childish taunts and insults. The mod introduces random interactions where a child insults either another child or an adult, prompting a reaction from the NPC.
I've seen mud crabs that are smarter than you.
What a boring conversation.
I was just kidding around.
The child then responds to that reaction, adding a layer of playful, mischievous realism to Skyrim's towns and villages. With cheeky kids, you'll witness the kind of impish behaviour that makes every town feel more alive and authentic, as children act like the little troublemakers they're meant to be. Imagine exploring an ancient Nordic ruin, uncovering etched tablets with an inscription, only to be pulled out of the immersive experience by a jarring menu text box as you attempt to read it. It completely breaks the atmosphere of the dungeon you're lost in, yet no longer thanks to skeuomorphism of Skyrim. This mod completely revamps the way you interact with plaques and inscriptions, allowing you to read them in a 3D menu that mirrors the appearance of the plaque itself. Rather than a traditional dialogue box, the plaques are given improved models and higher resolution textures with larger, more legible text to enhance the reading experience. Now you can stay fully immersed in your exploration, enjoying the ancient lore without ever breaking the atmosphere. Next up is a simple yet impactful mod that adds a touch of realism to your game. Snowy ships for snowy regions. If you've ever travelled through snow-covered areas like Windhelm or Dawnstar, you've probably noticed that while the ground is blanketed in snow, the boats docked at the harbours remain completely untouched. This seemed like a glaring oversight in the vanilla game, as it makes perfect sense that the boats would be covered in snow in these chilly regions. Thankfully, this mod addresses that issue by adding snow to a variety of boats, including rowboats, longboats, and large ships docked in snowy areas. Now, when you explore the snowy harbours, you'll find these ships realistically covered in snow, adding yet another layer of detail to your experience in Skyrim's wintry environment. A large percentage of the enemies you'll encounter in Skyrim are bandits, and after a while, fighting them can become tedious and repetitive, especially with the same voice lines being repeated over and over again. However, extended bandit dialogue changes all of that, transforming these encounters into something more engaging and dynamic. With this mod, bandits now have a variety of new things to say. They'll recognize you as being a leader of various factions.
Just my luck. You're the one that everyone is calling Dragonborn, aren't you?
They may even acknowledge your status as a high-ranking war veteran.
You're that famous war hero, aren't you? What in Oblivion are you doing here?
In addition to these recognitions, the mod introduces more variety of the idle lines.
How am I supposed to pay off my bounty if I can't get near the damn city?
Bandits will also react to the world around them, commenting on things like the weather or the current state of Skyrim, making their interactions feel more connected to the world and less like random encounters. Thanks to extended bandit dialogue, bandits' battles are no longer just a dull series of repetitive skirmishes, but instead become lively and unique exchanges that make every encounter feel fresh. Speaking of fresh, while walking along the icy coasts of Skyrim, enjoying the expansive views of the open ocean, you may have noticed the idle, stationary icebergs and ice floes floating without a hint of movement. In reality, these massive chunks of ice would naturally bob and shift with the movement of the sea. The same applies to the smaller ice floes. Even though they're smaller, they would still experience some subtle movement. Animated icebergs and animated ice floes bring a realistic behaviour into the game, adding a gentle bobbing motion to both icebergs and ice floes as they float in the water. This minor but noticeable change adds realism to the environment, improving the ocean experience by making Skyrim's frozen seas move in a way that reflects how they would behave in the real world. Talking of the real world, city bag checks introduces a level of realism and interaction with guards in Skyrim, as they now have the responsibility of randomly checking bags when approaching major cities. This system feels similar to border control or going through customs at an airport, adding a touch of frustrating familiarity to the game's immersion. When approached by guards, they may perform a search of your inventory, and that of any companions, looking for illicit items or questionable goods. Items such as narcotics or other prohibited goods will be seized and taken to the local jail for safekeeping. While some items may not be outright illegal, certain items like human remains, soul gems, or specific books could prompt a reaction from the guards. To avoid being caught, you can attempt to bypass the bag check in various ways, including persuasion, bribery, or using your influence as a Thane of the Hold to convince the guards to let you pass without issue. Or you could completely fail and end up in jail. This mod adds a more dynamic, immersive encounters with city guards. making travel through Skyrim cities more unpredictable and engaging. As you explore Skyrim's wilderness, you've probably came across those small rundown shacks, barely more than a single room made of wooden planks. To give these humble dwellings a bit more privacy and a touch of decency, born in a barn, door curtains for shacks add simple ragged cloth curtains to the open doorways and window frames that gently sway in the breeze. While these shacks are meant to look run down, it's hard to believe that someone like Anise wouldn't at least have a curtain to cover up certain secrets. This small mod uses base object swapper and adds a simple yet effective touch to these structures. Now you'll find some much needed privacy in these tiny homes. And the final immersion mod in this showcase, JS Badges of Office, adds a subtle yet impactful touch to Skyrim's stewards. Inspired by the Hand of the King pins from Game of Thrones, these badges serve as a way to easily identify the stewards of Skyrim, a feature that can be particularly useful for new players, as these characters can sometimes be hard to spot or remember. The mod introduces 8 distinct pins, each corresponding to the stewards of major cities: Whiterun, Windhelm, Falkreath, Morthal, Markarth, Solitude, Riften, and Winterhold. And as for Dawnstar, you may already know that it doesn't really have a steward, which is why you won't find a pin for that location. This mod is a clever addition, reinforcing the steward's importance and giving them a tangible symbol of their role in the respective cities. Next up, we're diving into location mods, which has always been one of my favourite ways to expand and enrich my Skyrim experience. These mods introduce stunning overhauls, entirely new lands to explore, and countless unmarked locations scattered throughout the wilds. The first mod we're looking at is JK's Fort Dawnguard, a fantastic overhaul that breathes new life into the vampire hunting Dawnguard's headquarters. In the base game, Fort Dawnguard can feel disappointingly empty and a little bit neglected. JK's Fort Dawnguard changes that by transforming the once abandoned ruin into a thriving, fully operational vampire hunting stronghold. The outer walls now feature improved textures, giving them a cleaner and more fortified look. New wooden roofing lines atop the walls, appearing as though the fort is actively being restored, a fitting detail that reflects the Dawnguard's ongoing efforts to rebuild. Inside, the changes are even more impressive. The previously bare feast hall is now well stocked, adding warmth and life to the fort's communal space. The training area has been expanded and improved, providing a proper space for Dawnguard members to hone their crossbow skills, an essential tool in their war against the vampires. And sleeping areas have also been revamped to feel significantly more inviting, with a cozy, warm atmosphere that replaces the previous cold and dreary ambience. Overall, JK's Fort Dawnguard is a fantastic addition that not only enhances the fort's appearance, also creates a more immersive and believable home base of your vampire hunting adventures. While the interior changes are relatively subtle to preserve the sense of the ongoing rebuild, this mod remains an essential upgrade for anyone siding with the Dawnguard. Next, it's time to look at the other side of the story. As many of you know, Skyrim's northwestern coast is home to an isolated and ominous castle, a fitting hideout for a species that thrives in secrecy. JK's Castle Volkihar completely transforms this landmark inside and out, bringing your vampire-themed playthrough to life. The exterior now boasts additional spiked towers, adorned with Volkihar clan banners swaying eerily in the wind, alongside a reinforced front gate designed to ward off unwelcome visitors. The previously empty Volkihar dock now features boats and a grim sense of personality, with cages that appear to hold unfortunate captives, no doubt intended as victims for torture or flesh-thrall recruits. The Volkihar North Tower entrance has received a makeover, no longer blending into the bland cliff face, but instead enhanced with improved architecture and floral details that create a more memorable landmark. Lastly, the once lifeless Volkihar courtyard has been given a dramatic overhaul, now brimming with foliage and eerie gargoyle statues. The revamped, no pun intended, courtyard strikes a chilling yet captivating balance between beauty and dread, a perfect reflection of the vampire clan that it calls home. But the highlights of this mod really lie within its walls. The upgraded alchemy room is now overflowing with ingredients, potions, and new display pieces, ensuring you're well equipped for crafting deadly concoctions. The sleeping quarters are lined with coffins for your newly found vampiric family, while a revamped worship room dedicated to Molag Bal adds a chilling touch of devotion. The study has been enriched with clutter and detail, bringing it to life. The mod also comes with a fitting, blood-filled bathing area, a kind of messed up touch that perfectly aligns with the vampire aesthetic. The master bedroom boasts a gothic design that perfectly reflects Harkon's character. Meanwhile, the new armory provides ample space to showcase the equipment and armor you've claimed throughout your journeys. For those with more unsettling tastes, the upgraded feast hall offers a grim display of blood-drained victims sprawled across the tables. And finally, if you happen to have an interest for pain, an improved torture chamber awaits. But hey, no judgment here. Shifting from blood-soaked fantasies to the shadowy world of assassination, our final JK's mod takes us into the realm of the Dark Brotherhood. This overhaul bathes new life into both the Falkreath and Dawnstar sanctuaries, transforming them into true masterpieces that reflect the elusive and dangerous nature of Skyrim's infamous assassins. JK's Dark Brotherhood sanctuaries doesn't just renovate these hidden layers, it elevates them, giving them an impression of a fully functioning and organised guild that the Dark Brotherhood rightfully deserves. Let's begin with the Falkreath Sanctuary, which now feels far more concealed and fitting in a secretive guild of assassins. Its black door is now cleverly hidden behind a moving stone door, further shrouding the sanctuary in mystery and making it even harder to stumble upon in the wilderness. Once inside, you'll descend the stairs into a space that feels far more alive and practical for a band of killers. The alchemy lab, which formerly had one alchemy table in the corner, has been transformed into a bustling workspace brimming with ingredients and clutter. The enchanting area now overflows with soul gems and scrolls, giving you everything you need to imbue your weapons and armor with powerful enchantments. The biggest change is the main hall, transforming it into a true base of operations. The new stone textures and improved architecture breathe life into the sanctuary, while the upgraded towering stone pillars give the place a sense of strength and stability. The addition of weapon racks, workstations, and other interactive elements ensures the space feels both functional and immersive. The Dawnstar Sanctuary, on the other hand, has been redesigned to feel far less like an abandoned, lifeless ruin. It now boasts dedicated training areas alongside new workstations where assassins can craft the weapons and armor they'll need to eliminate their targets. The entire space feels much more vibrant with a completely newly decorated main hall. Overall, JK's location mods stand out as some of the most popular from the modding community. Whether it's the fortified stronghold of the Dawnguard, the eerie halls of Castle Volkihar, or the shadowy sanctuaries of the Dark Brotherhood, these mods are sure to add some depth and character to your game. Next up is a new lands and quest mod called Siege at Icemoth, which introduces a new adventure set in a forgotten corner of Skyrim's frozen coast. The journey begins when you stumble across a mercenary's journal at an old wooden jetty on the northwesternmost beach of Skyrim. After reading the journal, you can take the nearby boat to Fort Icemoth. Once a key outpost for the East Empire Company, Fort Icemoth played a crucial role in trading whale products with local Nords. However, the fort has long since fallen to ruin, now crawling with the dead, and ruled by a powerful necromancer who must be stopped. Siege at Icemoth brings a new wealth of content to explore. The mod adds new settlements, dungeons, and caves filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. Along the way, you'll find unique items and weapons that can't be found anywhere else in Skyrim. This mod will keep you engaged as you unravel the dark history behind Fort Icemoth's grim fate. Our next location mod is Skyfall's Sleeping History Overhaul. If you've ever visited the Sleeping Giants camp, you might recall feeling a little disappointed. The tree itself is quite underwhelming and barely stands out from the countless others scattered across Skyrim. Fortunately, Skyfall has breathed new life into this site, transforming it into a truly impressive and memorable location. The tree has been massively sized up, towering above the landscape, making it feel far more significant. Surrounding the tree is a larger pond, delicate hanging vines, and tribal lanterns now draped from the branches. To enhance the mystical vibe further, you'll also find vibrant hissed flowers and softly chiming wind instruments swaying in the breeze. The addition of carved cairns and a runed circle reinforces the idea that this place was a place of reverence and spiritual significance. Finally, for those who wish to pay their respects, a dedicated spot has been added where you can sit beneath the tree, embracing the tranquility of the moment. There is also an optional plugin to re-add the purple glow to the tree, enhancing its magical aura. Skyfall's Sleeping History Overhaul transforms a once forgettable landmark into a captivating and immersive location that feels like a natural part of Skyrim's world. Next up is WizKid's Hunter Camp Overhaul, which enhances each camp with improved details and unique touches, ensuring no two camps feel exactly the same. Hunters are now provided with better accommodations, featuring varied tents instead of the same repetitive design. You'll also notice the new clutter scattered around the camps, from wood carvings and tanning racks to small wooden shacks that protect their supplies. The overhaul also improves Hunter AI, making them feel more active and purposeful rather than just sitting idly on a stump for hours on end. Skyrim's most iconic city, nestled right at the heart of the province, might seem like an ideal location, but its central position also leaves Whiterun vulnerable from all sides. The Whiterun Has Walls Redone mod addresses this by transforming the city's fortifications into a more formidable and realistic defense system. Beyond improving the city's security, these upgraded walls adds a visual element that feels like it should have been part of the original design. The addition of walkable walls, allowing both you and the city guards to spot approaching threats from a distance, adds changes that not only strengthens Whiterun's presence, but also adds a lot of personality to the city, reinforcing its role as a major hub in Skyrim's world. Our final location mod in this showcase is the Unmarked Locations pack, all in one. In my opinion, this mod adds fantastic additions to Skyrim, offering over 140 new random locations that blend seamlessly into the wilderness. These locations range from small landmarks to more complex areas, making the exploration of Skyrim feel much more rewarding and immersive. What makes these locations stand out is the variety they bring. Many of them will feature unique interactions and encounters, some involving NPCs, both friendly and hostile. You'll also find hidden Easter eggs scattered throughout these areas, rewarding the curious adventurer. Some locations present interesting puzzles that require a bit of thought to unravel, while others are simply there to add a bit of atmosphere to Skyrim's vast landscape. Whether it's the appeal of discovering loot or the thrill of new encounters, each of these locations feels like a natural part of the world. The mod author's goal of enhancing the wilds of Skyrim is evident, as these new sites blend seamlessly into the environment that you would hardly notice they were added through a mod. If you're looking to add more depth and intrigue to your Skyrim adventures, that is a must-have mod. Gameplay mods can significantly enhance your playthrough, making it feel far more realistic and immersive, or simply just more fun to play. These mods are designed to not only improve the mechanics of Skyrim, but also to make the world feel more alive, interactive, and true to its setting. First up, we have Fire Ignites Arrows and Bolts, a mod that does exactly what its name suggests. Now, when you draw an arrow near fire, it will catch flame, and you'll see a small fire animation flickering at the tip of the arrow to let you know it's ignited. However, be careful not to hold on to the arrow for too long, as it will burn out, causing your character to stagger and destroy the arrow, which is definitely not ideal in the middle of a fight. And of course, it's not just for show. When you fire an ignited arrow at an enemy, it will set them ablaze, dealing extra burn damage over time, with visible fire effects on your target. Overall, this is a great mod that enhances the realism of your gameplay, adding a dynamic element to how you approach combat and interact with the environment. Have you ever been challenged to a brawl in Skyrim by an NPC who's talking it big, claiming they're going to smash your face in? And you start swinging like a madman, adrenaline pumping, only to accidentally knock out some innocent bystander just standing there. And then, the entire city is after you. Well, lucky for us, brawling, no-hitting bystanders ensures that when you're throwing down with an NPC, you can focus on them and only them. No more accidentally punching random townsfolk and causing anarchy in the streets. And our final gameplay mod for this showcase adds a level of realism that truly enhances the experience by introducing stress and fear. Stress and fear, a dynamic sanity system, gives your character a unique emotional journey, where fear and stress are directly impacted by your actions during combat. It creates dynamic narratives and personal experiences as you navigate Skyrim, making each adventure feel more alive. The mod is relatively simple and unobtrusive, designed to create interesting pauses in the gameplay loop without overwhelming you. If you avoid getting hit, stress and fear are minimal, but if you take damage in combat, your stress levels will rise. As your stress accumulates, it begins to affect your stamina and magicka, making it harder to keep going. Fortunately, there are various ways to reduce stress. You can unwind by drinking alcohol, not an endorsement, eating a warm meal, or getting a good night's sleep in a safe space. Even petting a dog, playing music, or fishing can help calm your character's nerves. But things get even more interesting when it comes to fear. If your character survives a particularly harrowing battle against a certain type of enemy, they may develop a fear or phobia of that enemy type. Overcoming this fear requires courage. You'll need to face that enemy again and win, with a random chance of success. Conquer your fears and you'll gain a buff against that enemy type, as well as immunity to the phobia in future encounters. While stress can be managed with little self-care, phobias are trickier. When your character develops a fear, your vision will narrow slightly, and you'll breathe heavily when encountering the creature you're afraid of. On top of that, you'll deal 25% less damage to that specific enemy, and your stress levels will rise even faster during the fight. However, if you overcome a fear, there's a significant reward. Not only will you never experience that particular phobia again, but you'll also gain a permanent 10% damage boost against that enemy type. Plus, facing your fears will release up to 50 points of stress, leaving you feeling like a true hero once you've conquered your anxieties. This mod adds a refreshing depth to the gameplay, offering a more immersive experience where your character's emotional state impacts their physical capabilities. It's a simple system that enhances the game's realism and adds some welcome variety to your adventures. Next, let's take a look at a fun little addition to Skyrim's wildlife. Courtesy of Mihail's Frogs, this mod introduces small, harmless frogs hopping around lakes and puddles, adding a touch of life and immersion to the world. There are 4 colour variations to spot, including common green, common brown, black reach blue, and black reach red. They even come with custom sounds, so you'll likely hear them before you spot them. And even come with custom ingredients that you can cook up into a tasty dish of cooked frog legs. Another addition from Mihail's collection is sea turtles. These turtles can be found along Skyrim's coastlines, some peacefully swimming through the waves, others crawling ashore, and occasionally some poor souls stranded upside down on the beach. Fortunately, you can lend a helping hand by flipping these turtles back up the right way, unless you're some sort of sicko who enjoys watching them struggle. Though killing them will provide you with sea turtle meat, which can be cooked into a hearty roasted sea turtle dish. A nice little find while exploring the coast or going for a swim, adding a new creature to Skyrim's shores. And our final creature mod is Edmund's nature series, Birds, a fantastic addition that brings Skyrim's skies and shores to life. This mod introduces ravens, pheasants, and seagulls scattered throughout the world, adding a new layer of immersion to your travels. Bone hawks now come with unique sounds and can be found in greater numbers near vampire lairs and in the eerie soul cairn. Also, numerous new hawks and hawk nests have been strategically placed across Skyrim, while seagulls follow a natural day-night cycle, disappearing to roost at night and returning in the morning. All the newly introduced birds feature distinct audio calls, so instead of just hearing distant chirps or squawks, you can now see the feathered creatures in action. These birds blend seamlessly into Skyrim's world and are placed in habitats you'd expect to find them in real life. Well, except for the bone hawks and ghost ravens. The next section is all about magic, and let's be honest, what would Skyrim be without it? Fortunately, the incredibly talented mod author Kittytail has us covered. Over the past year, Kittytail has released a remarkable collection of magic mods, and in this section, we'll be showcasing 6 of her most popular creations. Whether you're a seasoned battle mage or just dabbling in the arcane arts, these mods are sure to bring some fresh, powerful, and exciting spells to your next playthrough. First up is Frost VFX Edit. This mod introduces a stunning visual overhaul to several iconic Frost-based spells in Skyrim, enhancing both their appearance and overall impact. The Ice Storm spell effect has also been revamped, swirling with improved visuals that make it feel more intense and formidable in battle. The Mighty Blizzard spell has received a fresh visual update, turning this devastating area of effect spell into a true winter storm on the battlefield. Additionally, the effect on your casting hands has also been improved, adding a chilling aura that makes your magic feel all the more immersive. The Frost Cloak spell now surrounds you with a visually richer icy aura, reinforcing the power of your protective frost magic. Finally, the mod introduces improved inventory art, providing a cleaner and more graphically appealing interface when browsing your magical arsenal. With these enhancements, wielding ice magic in Skyrim has never felt cooler and colder. The next mod in our lineup is Lightning VFX Edit, which, much like the Frost one, significantly improves the visual effects of lightning-based spells in Skyrim. This mod improves the colour gradient and shading, giving lightning spells a sharper, more defined look. Alongside these enhancements, new meshes and particles have been added, further enriching the spell's effects with greater detail and intensity. Several spells now showcase these improved effects, including Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Thunderbolt projectiles. Additionally, you'll notice enhanced visuals for the Dwarven Spider's Shock Attack, Sparks, and the Lightning Storm Concentration projectile. The mod also upgrades various supporting effects such as the hand casting animations, the generic explosion effect used by Lightning Rune and Lightning Storm's mass explosion, as well as the Lightning Cloak effect. And the impact visuals on these spells has also been refined, making battles feel more electrifying than ever. Finally, the menu visuals have again received a polished new look. Following on, we have Piercing Expert spells, a mod that redefines the way expert level destruction spells function in Skyrim. Traditionally, these powerful spells were limited to hitting only a single target, but with this mod they now pierce through enemies, allowing them to strike multiple foes in a straight line. This small, yet impactful change dramatically enhances the effectiveness of destruction magic, making expert tier spells feel truly devastating in large battles. The mod doesn't just improve the mechanics, it also enhances the visual effects on these spells to match their newly found power. Each destruction spell that benefits from this change has been given new, fitting visual enhancements, ensuring that not only do they function better, but they also look and feel more impactful. When casting these spells, you'll notice improved particle effects, refined spell trails, and an overall stronger magical presence that make each spell feel like an unstoppable force. This change particularly shines when facing groups of enemies, as you no longer have to rely solely on the area of effect spells that deal with multiple threats. Instead, you can now unleash piercing spells that tear through your foes in a straight line, rewarding precise aiming and positioning. This makes destruction magic a far more tactical and efficient choice for spellcasters, allowing them to maximize damage output while minimizing wasted magicka. Next up, we have a truly fascinating magic mod, Wild Waker Magic. This mod introduces 8 powerful, botanically themed spells designed for exceptional crowd control. While these spells pack a punch, they come at a cost, taking longer to charge than your average destruction or restoration spell. However, there is something incredibly satisfying about summoning the forces of nature to aid you in battle. Whether it's vines ensnaring your foes or blossoms bursting with arcane energy. On top of that, the spell visuals are nothing short of breathtaking, as expected by Kitty Tail, bringing an almost ethereal beauty to your battlefield. These tomes won't just be lying around for any novice to grab though. Once your magical prowess reaches the required level, you'll be able to purchase them from select vendors, ensuring only the most skilled mages can wield their power. If nature magic isn't your thing and you'd rather focus on smiting the undead, then Holy Templar magic might be the perfect mod for you. This powerful addition introduces a set of 6 divine spells, each designed to be extra effective against undead, making it an excellent choice for paladins, clerics, or anyone with a grudge against Draugr or vampires. These spells can be acquired from restoration magic vendors, with some also available at Fort Dawnguard. However, all 6 spells can also be found on the Vigilance of Stendarr, making them a prime target if you're looking to collect them quickly. The rarest and most powerful spell in the set, Wrath of the Heavens, can only be obtained this way. So if you want to wield its immense power, you'll have to seek out the Vigilance and claim it for yourself. Last but certainly not least, we have Ancient Blood Magic 2, a must-have for those who pledge loyalty to the Volkihar clan in the Dawnguard questline. This mod introduces 14 new blood magic spells, including pure and hybrid variations, making the perfect arsenal for a vampire seeking to dominate their foes with the dark arcane power. Finding these spell tomes won't be easy. Low-level tomes can be discovered in corpses of Draugr, warlocks, and vampires, while the most powerful spells are locked behind a formidable new enemy that you'll have to defeat to claim their secrets. With all that said about these 6 incredible mods, whether you want to unleash the raw power of botanical magic or simply enjoy a stunning new visual effect, there is something here for every mage. Adding these mods to your load order will bring Skyrim's magical world to life, making every spellcast feel more immersive, powerful, and visually spectacular. Up next, visual and texture mods. These mods will breathe a new life into your game, making the landscape structures and characters feel more real and visually captivating. To kick things off, let's dive into a couple of flora mods, starting with TMD, the Rift Leaves. This mod adds floating autumn leaves to the waters throughout the entire rift, gently moving in sync with the flow. It's a small detail that really brings the rift to life. Moving from the rift to Whiterun, we have Cathedral 3D Stone Crop. This mod takes the humble stone crop and breathes new life into it, transforming it into a vibrant plant with beautiful yellow flowers that truly stand out. Plus, it's now been upgraded from 2D to 3D, making it feel much more dynamic and immersive as you explore the plains of Whiterun. Finally, we have High Quality Ivy Replacer, a mod that enhances the ivy found all across Skyrim. This mod replaces ivy meshes and textures with high quality versions, giving the plants a more realistic and vibrant look. Whether it's clinging to stone walls, draping over bridges, or hanging from the ruins of forgotten places, ivy is a staple of Skyrim's environment. This mod even offers an animated version. It's a simple yet effective upgrade that elevates the beauty and detail of Skyrim's landscapes. Now let's dive into some of the most popular dedicated retexture mods from the past year. Draugr New Models and Retextures overhauls the vanilla Draugr models and textures, giving them a much more realistic and eerie appearance. Their rotting bodies are now depicted with sagging, decayed skin, as if they've been slowly decomposing for centuries. The glowing eyes and bulging teeth have been refined to create a more lifelike, unsettling look. As a thief, lockpicking is essential in Skyrim, but it can get tedious seeing the same old locks on every door or container you're trying to break into. Security Overhaul SKSE Extra Locks is an add-on for the original mod that aids this problem by replacing many of the generic vanilla locks with a variety of new improved designs, adding a more visual diversity to your lockpicking. The type of lock you encounter now varies depending on your location and the object you're trying to unlock. For instance, in an Orc stronghold, you'll find Orc-themed locks, while in Fort Dawnguard, a Dawnguard-inspired lock. Overall, this mod introduces 11 new lock types, making each locking experience feel fresh and giving you a bit more variety in the world of Skyrim. Sky King signs and Sky King unique signs are fantastic additions to any mod list, bringing a refreshing new look to Skyrim's taverns and shops. These two mods replace the default signs with all new meshes and textures, giving each sign a more authentic and artistic appearance. It's a small detail, but one that greatly enhances the overall atmosphere of Skyrim, adding a bunch of realism and charm to the game. Next we have Spell Knight Armor retexture, which gives a visual upgrade to the Spell Knight armor set introduced in the Creation Club with Anniversary Edition. This mod enhances the textures of 3 different variations of the armor, each receiving a distinct upgrade. These upgrades breathe a new life into some already impressive armors, making them look even more visually fitting for any adventurer looking to don the prestigious armor of the Spell Knights. Next, let's dive into a selection of mods from Rally, who has reimagined a variety of Skyrim's furniture to make it more immersive and visually stunning. Rally's noble furniture completely overhauls the upper class furniture found throughout Skyrim, from beds and dressers to chairs and tables. Rally's Banners of Skyrim brings a fresh take on the banners scattered across the game, including those from DLCs. Rally's Orc furniture breathes new life into the Orc strongholds, updating the furniture with unique designs and details that better matches the Orc's hardy lifestyle. Rally's upper furniture focuses solely on Jorvaska, home to the companions, and the furniture here has been upgraded with smoother and more detailed textures from benches and chairs to dressers and nightstands, and additionally, new textures were created for tablecloths, carpets, banners, and drapes in Jorvaska, tying everything together, making the hall feel more visually polished. Rally's bar set revamps the bars and counters in Skyrim's taverns and shops, from bar stools to counter sets. Rally's Thrones updates the wooden thrones found throughout Skyrim, including in places like Solitude, Whiterun, and Riften. Rally's Common furniture covers a wide range of everyday furniture from beds, chairs, tables, and shelving. Rally's Dark Elf furniture takes inspiration from the Orc furniture but adds a distinct grey-green tone to match the ashy, harsh environments of Solstheim. And thanks to Rally, each one of these mods enhances Skyrim's atmosphere, bringing more depth and character to the various regions, cultures, and buildings in the game. Next is Ghosts of the Tribunal retexture, which changes the visual appearance of the Creation Club content from the Ghosts of Tribunal, bringing more detail to the armor and robes. The robes now look as if they belong to high-ranking members of the Tribunal, with rich textures that reflect luxury and power. Our next mod is a game changer for Skyrim landscapes, and I've been using it for quite a while now. Tomato's Complex Parallax Material Landscapes All-in-One is a mod that overhauls the entirety of Skyrim's biomes, transforming every corner of the world into a hyper-realistic masterpiece. With full complex parallax details that really make the landscapes stand out and look realistic in a way that we've never saw before in Skyrim. From rugged, snow-capped peaks, where the cold bites your skin, to the serene, flowing rivers winding through the plains. The level of detail is astonishing when you use this with EMB with complex parallaxing. It enhances the dense fog-covered marshes of Morthal with its muddy swamps, to the lush green forests of Falkreath. Each area feels distinct, with unique textures and details that bring Skyrim's diverse landscapes to life in a way that is nothing short of impressive. Another impressive mod by Tomato is Tomato's Whiterun Parallax, a massive overhaul that completely reimagines the iconic city of Whiterun, both inside and out. The streets are no longer bare, they've been enriched with textures that reflect the bustling nature of Whiterun, bringing the city's lively atmosphere to life. The buildings too have been transformed, now featuring custom stained glass windows that add a level of refinement and depth to the exterior. The Great Hall of Jorvaska has also received significant upgrades, the exterior of Dragon's Reach too, and the improvements continue inside, with every room now reflecting nobility and importance of the Jarl's seat. Overall, Tomato's Whiterun Parallax does more than just enhance the city, it redefines it. This mod elevates Whiterun to a level of detail and realism that makes it feel like a living, breathing city. Next up we have a collection of mods by the talented author Kanj, starting with Sanguine Rose Animated. This mod overhauls the iconic Sanguine Rose, featuring dynamic animations and the addition of emissive lighting. Soup and Stew, All-in-One Animated, takes your culinary experience in Skyrim to the next level by retexturing all soups and stews with new details. The mod also adds a touch of life with animated smoke and bubbles. Chorus Eggs Animated and Motion brings a new animated motion and emissive lighting to the Chorus Eggs. Whether you encounter them in a dark cave or as part of your inventory, these eggs now look and feel far more alien and interesting. Finally, can just breathe new life into some of Skyrim's most distinct alchemical ingredients. the Briarheart, Daedra Heart, Human Heart, Taproot, and Heartstone have all been meticulously retextured and meshed, giving a pulsating animation. A great set of retextures and animations, making the items feel more alive. Now we have another furniture mod, this time focusing primarily on beds. Ignoble Beds, a noble and upper class bed replacer, transforms the sleeping arrangements of Skyrim's wealthiest citizens. Whether found in palaces, castles, or lavish estates, these beds now reflect the prestige of those who rest upon them. No longer will the noble and upper class sleep on simple wooden frames. Now, they're resting in places that represent luxury and status. However, if you want to further enhance the realism of a peaceful night's sleep, you can pair this mod with Use Those Blankets, allowing NPCs and players to fully tuck themselves under the covers for a snug and comfy sleeping experience. As magic plays such a central role in Skyrim, it only makes sense to have robes that truly reflect the power and prestige of the mages who wear them. Robes Retexture is a mod that enhances and retextures a wide range of robes found throughout the game, giving them a fresh, detailed appearance that matches the magical might they represent. The mod touches nearly every robe variant in Skyrim, receiving a unique visual upgrade. These include the Mage's robes, the Archmage robes, the Priest robes, Necromancer robes, Greybeard, Telvanni, the Mythic Dawn, the Psijic robes, and even the Vagrant robes. With all of these receiving unique, high-quality texture upgrades, Robes Retexture offers a visual feast for any mage who's looking to look the part. However innocent a Wismother may seem from a distance, do not be fooled. She is anything but harmless. Ark's Wismother Redux enhances this enigmatic foe, transforming her into a mesmerizing yet truly menacing presence. This mod ensures that encountering a Wismother feels as unsettling as it should, making every battle with these spectral beings all the more memorable. Ark has also introduced a collection of small yet effective kitchen retextures. These individual mods, Ark's Kettle Redux, Ark's Kitchen Redux, Ark's Mead Barrel Redux, and Ark's Tankard Redux come together to enhance the look of everyday kitchenware. With these improvements, kitchens and taverns feel more polished and realistic, making every visit to a cooking space more engaging and authentic. Another impressive Creation Club retexture is the Divine Crusader retexture, which replaces the original textures with high quality, richly detailed designs that make the armor feel more like a relic of holy power. The weapons included in this pack have also been given the same level of care, making them feel like well-worn but revered instruments of divine justice. Now let's take a look at a mod that brings a more refined and authentic touch to Skyrim's Nordic stone architecture, Nordic Stone Wall Terraces. A mod that welcomes a stunning overhaul that introduces meticulously crafted stonework, replacing the original models with beautifully detailed walls constructed from individually chiseled stones, making settlements and pathways feel sturdier and more architecturally sound. From sturdy stone walls to towering windmills that dot Skyrim's farmlands, diverse windmill sails transforms these iconic structures. Not only do these new sails look more authentic, but they also come with a variety of colours and levels of wear, reflecting years of exposure to harsh weather and constant labour, making each windmill feel unique and a crucial part of the farming world. Next up is Utenland's Nordic Tents, a mod that transforms Skyrim's basic camp tents into beautifully crafted Viking-inspired shelters. These new designs better reflect the rugged Nordic culture, replacing the plain vanilla tents with detailed, weathered structures that feel more authentic to the world. This mod also introduces a diverse range of colour variations and intricate patterns. Whether tucked away in the wilderness or serving as a temporary refuge for a Stormcloak scouting party, these redesigned tents bring a greater sense of depth, making them a fantastic addition to your mod list. Our final two retexture mods come from Gutmore, starting with snazzy wall-mounted trophies. This mod replaces many of Skyrim's standard wall-mounted animal trophies with a far more diverse and engaging selection, including creatures like ashhoppers, deathhounds, and many more. And finally, we have snazzy diverse carriages. In vanilla Skyrim, all carriages look identical and lack any real distinction. But this mod changes that by giving each carriage its own unique appearance. With 12 different carriage models to encounter, no two carriages are the same. Each one is equipped with a variety of gear and supplies, featuring distinct canopy styles, diverse texture sets, and even lanterns with built-in EMB lights. To wrap up this section, let's take a look at some of the most popular visual graphic mods from the past year. First up is animated filled soul gems. While it may seem like a small and simple mod at first, this mod changes a lot about how you notice these soul gems while looting, adding a subtle pulsating animation to filled soul gems, giving them a glowing ethereal energy. It's a simple touch, but it not only makes them look far more visually interesting, but also helps them feel more alive, making the world of Skyrim feel more cohesive. The added animation truly brings out the sense that these gems are vessels of captured souls, adding a layer of detail to your enchantments. Next up is Dragon Breath VFX Edit. This mod significantly enhances the visual effect of Skyrim's most fearsome enemies, the dragons, particularly their fire and frost breath attacks. The mod introduces new particle effects, making the flames and frost more intense and dramatic, elevating the already imposing threat that dragons pose in Skyrim. Next, we're diving into a crucial aspect of Skyrim, combat. NPCs take cover is a game changer when it comes to enemy intelligence. In vanilla Skyrim, NPCs often stand helplessly in the open, making them easy prey for range attacks. This mod completely overhauls their behaviour, making them far more reactive and strategic in combat. Enemies will now actively seek cover, breaking line of sight instead of waiting around to be picked off. They'll also move unpredictably while in cover, making them much harder to hit. If they realise you have an unfair advantage, they'll relocate to counter your position, ensuring battles feel more dynamic and challenging. Not only are they smarter, but they also are more vocal about your tactics. With over 200 voiced reactions, enemies will call you out for cheap tricks, shouting anything from
A coward hides. A true warrior does not.
to
Now that's just sad.
or even
Dirty, filching Enma.
this adds a new layer of realism, making fights feel more intense and responsive. Now we're stepping into animation mods. These mods are aimed to bring to life both your character and NPCs, making every action feel more fluid and natural. From subtle gestures like plucking ingredients from the wild to intricate, weighty combat maneuvers, animation mods refine the way movement is portrayed in Skyrim, which for a 15-year-old game is greatly appreciated. Our first animation mod is EVG Clamber, Slope Animations, a fantastic addition by Everglade that introduces more realistic and natural movement when navigating different gradients. Unlike the unchanging animation of vanilla Skyrim, this mod makes your character and NPCs visibly adjust their movements depending on how steep the terrain is, depending on if you're running up a steep hill or carefully descending a rugged slope. Your character's posture and footing will dynamically shift, adding a whole new level of believability to movement. Next up is Dynamic Crafting Animations, which enhances Skyrim's crafting system by introducing unique animations tailored to different workstations. Instead of repeating the same generic actions, your character will now interact with their gear in a more realistic way, making crafting feel more natural. At grindstones, new animations play depending on the weapon type, and if you're working on a bow or crossbow, items that wouldn't logically be sharpened, your character will instead inspect them carefully. Workbenches also benefit from this mod, featuring unique animations for each type of armor. The selected piece will appear on the table as your character works on it. The enchantment table gets a similar treatment, displaying the items being enchanted, making the process feel more real and grounded. Next we have immersive interactions, eating ingredients and applying poison animations, a mod that adds a whole new level of realism to consuming ingredients and using poisons. No longer will your character silently munch on alchemy ingredients or mysteriously apply poisons without any visual feedback. Now, every action is accompanied by detailed animations and visible effects. When eating ingredients, different animations will play depending on what you're consuming. If you're sitting down, your character can now casually snack while resting, making a more natural and immersive experience. On horseback, no problem. You can still sample ingredients while traveling to your next destination. However, if you consume something toxic, your character won't just take it in stride. Instead, they'll cough and splutter, reacting to the harmful effects in a way that makes alchemy feel more engaging. This mod also introduces a realistic animation for applying poisons. Instead of vague status effect appearing on your weapon, your character will visibly handle the poison before coating their blade. For bows and crossbows, the poison is applied to the equipped arrow or bolt, reinforcing the idea that you're actually preparing for combat in a believable way. Up next is a mod that will be a game changer for all foragers and gatherers out there. Dynamic looting and harvesting animations adds an extra layer of realism when interacting with the world. Instead of simply interacting with plants or containers and watching ingredients magically appear in your inventory, your character will perform unique animations depending on what they're gathering. Flowers will be carefully plucked, mushrooms picked from the ground, and vegetables harvested from patches. Even critters caught in jars and coin purses looted from shelves will have their own distinct animations, with the collected items visibly displayed in your character's hand. This mod also enhances interactions with larger, more environmental objects, for example collecting mammoth cheese, picking up firewood from a pile, or retrieving items from wall-mounted trophies, as well as many more types of new animations. Now shifting our focus to first-person animations. First-person interactions makes the world feel more alive by adding context-aware animations when engaging with objects and NPCs. Touching standing stones now includes a reaching animation, making the act of unlocking their power more visually engaging. Praying at shrines is no longer just a menu interaction. Your character will now perform a proper gesture, adding a sense of ritual to the experience. For the rotating pillars, first-person interactions adds a smooth animation where your character physically grabs and rotates the pillars, giving the impression of actual effort. No longer do you simply turn a pillar with a menu prompt. Now you can see your character reach out, twist and rotate it, bringing more engagement and immersion to the puzzle-solving process. Now for the Dragon Claw puzzle doors, instead of just pressing a button or triggering a quick animation, your character will now perform a specific hand gesture to unlock the door, much like the puzzle pillars, with the claw being placed into the mechanism and turning it with your hand. Looting animals and NPCs now includes visible interactions rather than simply transferring items through a menu. Pickpocketing has a quicker natural hand movement, gathering ingredients and picking up objects now becomes smoother with gestures, making every action feel more connected to the world. Where would the Dragonborn be without their trusty steed? Probably stuck walking everywhere like a commoner. Now with dynamic horse petting interactions, you can now show your noble steed some much needed love for carrying your ass all across Skyrim. This mod introduces new immersive horse petting animations that lets you show your appreciation. Now you can give your horse a little side rub, a neck scratch, or even a full-on affectionate petting session. Who knows, maybe after a bit more love, your horse won't mind hauling your over-encumbered backside up every mountain and down every path in Skyrim. Now we're soaring from grounded steeds to aerial giants with DCA Dragon Combat animations. As the name suggests, this mod overhauls the vanilla dragon attacks, making the dragons far more dynamic and, dare I say, fair in battle. Let's face it, vanilla dragon combat is a little off. Some attacks are way too fast, I'm looking over at those wing slams, and others are too slow, like the bite attacks. And some are just plain broken. DCA addresses all of these issues by introducing brand new, much more balanced animations for dragon attacks. Now dragons have a frontal 2-bite attack that adds more depth to their fighting style. The right wing attack now includes a more dramatic 90-degree turn, while the left wing attack mirrors it for a more fluid and unpredictable movement. But there's even more. There's also a front wing 2-bite attack, and let's not forget the tail attack, which now has a slick 180 degrees rotation and can be dodged with some quick thinking. This mod completely transforms dragon combat, making it much more engaging and challenging. Next up is Draugr Greatsword animations. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. For those who might need a little more explanation, this mod overhauls the way Draugr swing their massive greatswords towards you. Gone are the days of the same repetitive and predictable swings. Instead, this mod introduces a whopping 7 new types of attacks, making each encounter with these undead warriors far more unpredictable and challenging. Modern first-person animation overhaul completely changes the way weapons are handled in Skyrim. The focus here is on quality, not quantity, with each animation optimized to meet the standards of a modern-day game. Whether you're swinging a sword, drawing a bow, or wielding a massive warhammer, the animations are designed to feel fluid and responsive. The mod brings a level of detail to the game that's typically found in newer titles, making combat feel more polished and engaging. From everything from dual wielding, one-handed war axes, two-handed weapons like warhammers, great swords, and even bow and arrow. This mod significantly improves the first-person weapon experience in Skyrim, adding a level of realism that has been lacking in the vanilla game. Our final animation mod to cover is Walking Stick, walk with staves or polearms. I won't lie, this one really gives me some Gandalf vibes. Imagine the iconic way he walks with his staff in Lord of the Rings. This mod adds new nodes for carrying staves or two-handed polearms in either your right or left hand, making your character look far more natural and purposeful while holding them. It's not just about carrying these weapons, these animations are included to change the way your character moves while walking with these items, giving them that unique, thoughtful pace. It's a small but stylish touch that adds a lot of character and realism, especially if you're looking to replicate the legendary wizard such as Gandalf. Next, we're moving on to some of the most popular armor and weapon mods in recent memory. Kicking things off, we have Relentless, a mod that truly lives up to its name. Relentless is a stunning new longsword available in both one-handed and two-handed variants, giving players the freedom to choose their preferred combat style. What truly makes Relentless stand out are its fire and ice glowing rune versions. The fire variant radiates with a molten glow, while the ice version shimmers with an ethereal feel. To complete the package, the sword comes with a custom scabbard, designed to complement its intricate design and make it feel like a natural part of your arsenal. Whether you wield it with one hand or embrace it as a two-handed power, Relentless is a weapon worthy of the Dragonborn. Next up, we have Bone Cultist Armor, a formidable heavy armor set perfectly suited for the unforgiving ashen wastes of Solstheim. This striking set combines rugged bone plating and deep scarlet robes, creating a look that feels both ancient and battle-worn. Its design carries a distinctive unique aesthetic, almost like a rogue Redoran guard who has abandoned their post to embrace the life of a ruthless wasteland assassin. The combination of resilience and mystery makes this armor a perfect fit for those who walk a fine line between warrior and shadowy enforcer, blending into the hostile landscapes of Solstheim. Next we have the Ysmir Armor SE, a bold and battle-hardened set of ancient Nordic-style armor, featuring a curved horned helmet, solid steel plating etched with intricate patterns, and thick fur linings for warmth. This set embodies the true strength of Skyrim's fiercest warriors. But that's not even all. This mod introduces the Atmoran Battle Axe as an optional download. This massive curved two-handed steel battle axe bears the same intricate markings as the armor, making it a perfect complement to the set. When worn together, the Ysmir armor and the battle axe create an ultimate look for any true Nord of Skyrim. Wrapping up this section, we have Nerd Necessities, SMP Accessory, a fantastic addition for those who love the customization and grounded fantasy feel. This mod introduces a selection of finely crafted, physics-enabled accessories designed to blend into everyday life in Skyrim. From satchels and backpacks to cloaks and scarves, each item feels like something a true citizen of Skyrim would wear. Thanks to SMP physics, even the smallest details like flaps, buckles, and strings move naturally, adding an extra layer of realism. Now we have some UI and sound mods that aim to enhance your overall experience. First up in our UI and sound mods section is a mod that really feels like it should have been included in the base game, the Dragonborn Bestiary. This mod introduces a fully detailed bestiary inspired by The Witcher 3, and it's perfect for Skyrim's vast collection of creatures. The mod adds 122 entries covering all vanilla, DLC, and Creation Club entries, and you can even get add-ons for mod-added creatures. Each entry provides a description, potential loot, resistances, weaknesses, and tracks the number of times you've killed, summoned, or even transformed into a creature. Unlocking entries is fun and varied. You can defeat creatures in battle, summon them as a mage or a necromancer, or transform into them as a werewolf or vampire lord. There's also an option for reading a book on a creature to learn its strengths and weaknesses before the encounter, interacting with peaceful animals and pelts, and even unlocking certain entries through specific dialogue options. With this mod, Skyrim's creatures are finally given the attention they deserve, adding detail to your creature hunting adventures. Now let's dive into the sound mods for this video. I won't be doing much talking here as I'll let the audio for these mods speak for themselves, but first up is Wildwood Echoes, which adds a new layer of atmospheric sounds to the forests of Skyrim. This mod enriches the environment with an array of natural sounds, including tree rustling, gusts of wind, frogs croaking, wolves howling, distant dogs barking, and much more. Next up is Blackreach Eerie Ambience, which adds over 30 new sound effects to completely transform the atmosphere of Blackreach. This mod creates a spine-chilling environment with the sounds that perfectly complement the mysterious and otherworldly nature of the area. The installer offers various options, allowing you to tailor the experience to your liking, and immerse yourself even further into the eerie depths of Blackreach. Next up is Murder of Songbirds, a mod that brings a rich variety of bird and bat sounds to all regions of Skyrim. This mod adds a touch of life and realism to the game, with different bird calls and sounds based on the terrain you're exploring. Hawks can be heard calling in the tundra, while woodpeckers will echo through the forests. On the coast, seagulls cry out, and at night, owls and bats add to the mysterious atmosphere of forested areas. During the day, songbirds fill the air with their melodies, and in the swamps, you'll be surrounded by the calls of crows. This mod really brings the diverse wildlife of Skyrim to life. Exploring the coasts of Skyrim can often feel empty, with nothing but wind breaking the silence. Whales off the coast changes that, by adding distant whale sounds to the coastal regions. As you wander the shorelines, you'll hear the haunting calls of whales echoing across the water. Now shifting from the coast to the creepy depths of Dwemer ruins and caves, we have Falmer Dialogue Overhaul, Echolocation. This mod adds a chilling layer to the already sinister atmosphere of Skyrim's Falmer. Since the Falmer are blind, they rely heavily on sound, and this overhaul enhances their communication by incorporating echolocation, making their movements and interactions feel more unnerving. The sounds they produce as they navigate and hunt invoke a sense of creeping dread, much like the clickers from The Last of Us. This mod intensifies these situations, making encounters with these twisted creatures even more terrifying. Next up is Patima Revoiced. In Skyrim, Patima is meant to be an unmistakably evil figure, but her original voice didn't quite match this sinister reputation. This mod addresses that by revoicing Patima to sound more fittingly ghosty, eerie, and malevolent.
Not much further. Come, little thing, serve me in death.
Next up is the Whispering Tomes of Apocrypha, a mod that brings a whole new layer of atmosphere to Hermaeus Mor's realm. With a detailed installer, it allows you to tailor your Apocrypha experience just the way you want it. The mod has over 40 new sounds, including 12 lines of spliced dialogue from Hermaeus Mora himself, adding a truly immersive touch to the ambient environment. You'll hear new eerie loops with ominous thunder to the unsettling droning sounds of twisting paper, creating an atmosphere of constant tension, making your journey through Hermaeus Mora's domain even more haunting. Our final sound mod today focuses on the iconic Standing Stones of Skyrim. The Standing Sound Stones mod enhances the atmosphere by adding unique sound loops to each Standing Stone location. By carefully placing sound markers at each stone, this mod ensures that every Standing Stone has its own distinct sounds, tailored to its specific nature and purpose. As we wrap up this video, we're diving into some incredible quest mods that truly are the heart and soul of any Elder Scrolls game. First up is Face Sculptor Expanded, a mod that truly brings the face sculptor in the Ragged Flagon to life. In vanilla Skyrim, she's a pretty passive character, just sitting there waiting for you to change your face and offering little else. With this mod, she becomes a much more active part of the world. Not only does she alter your face, but she can now change the faces of NPCs as well, for a price. Her behaviour has been adapted to make her feel like an actual NPC. She has more dynamic interactions with the player and other characters. Additionally, when you change your face, you'll have the new option to pay a higher fee to remove any bounties you might have incurred, making it a great option for those looking to start fresh. And if you're a member of the Thieves Guild, you'll even get a discount. One of the coolest additions is that you'll encounter NPCs around Skyrim who have had their faces changed by the sculptor. It adds a unique sense of continuity to the world, and it's a great little detail that makes the world feel more alive and interconnected. Of course, sometimes those face changes don't always turn out quite as expected. You might end up with a character who looks a little less than ideal. Next up is Infiltration, Quest Expansion, a mod that expands the original Infiltration quest while staying true to the source material. It features a fresh voiceover alongside perfectly spliced vanilla lines to breathe new life into this quest. One of the standout features is the player agency it offers. Your choices matter, allowing you to approach the quest however you like, whether it's making balanced decisions, saving everyone, or going on a chaotic rampage. There are no dead ends, giving you multiple ways to complete the quest. Now we have Destroy the Dark Brotherhood Quest Expansion. This mod introduces an alternate way to join the Dark Brotherhood by killing any of the vanilla contract targets, not just Gralod. After killing any of the vanilla targets, Astrid will kidnap you and confront you for stealing a kill from the Brotherhood. Some of these targets are hostile, so you won't feel bad about eliminating them. This new kidnapping path is available only if you spared Gralod in the Innocence Lost quest, keeping the original method intact. And the Destroy the Dark Brotherhood quest has also been overhauled to be more epic. You'll now need to discover the password, track down assassins, and face more challenging combat with new mechanics for each Dark Brotherhood member. Additionally, if you free the bound prisoners in Astrid's shack, you can find them in the world with their own mini-stories. One even becomes a recruitable mercenary, though he's a bit of a coward. This is a really neat mod that is filled with hidden Easter eggs for players to discover. Next up is Mysteries of the Dwemer, a lore-rich addition for anyone curious about the fate of the Dwemer in Skyrim. This mod introduces a new NPC, Marrow, a Dwemer researcher who will guide you through the mysteries surrounding their disappearance. Mara offers insight into various aspects of Dwemer history and lore, unraveling some of Skyrim's most intriguing unanswered questions. For those who love adventure, exploration, or simply appreciate a breathtaking view, Ascend: Hidden Peaks of Skyrim is a perfect mod. It introduces 10 hidden peaks scattered throughout Skyrim and Solstheim, each waiting to be discovered and conquered. The main reward is a stunning view and the sense of accomplishment upon reaching the summit, but there's more to uncover. To start these climbs, you must look for a stone cairn marked with a red piece of cloth. This mod also relies heavily on EVG animated traversal to show off its full potential. As you scale each peak, you'll earn a small resistance bonus to either fire, frost, or shock magic, depending on the mountain type. Once at the top of each peak, you can meditate to complete the ascension of the mountain and receive your reward. If you're wondering how to get down, there are sometimes items such as these golden feathers added by the mod in case you feel the need to take a quicker route down by yeeting off the top of the mountain. Next up is the Taste of Death, a quest add-on. A mod that expands upon the vanilla Taste of Death quest, allowing you to root out the cult of Namira and bring them to justice. This mod also offers an optional path for non-evil players to obtain the Ring of Namira from its previous owner. It adds new gameplay elements, enemies, and over 50 new lines of dialogue, making it a significant extension to the original quest. The mod also introduces a challenging new boss battle against the previous champion of Namira, now an undead foe located in the final chamber of Reachcliff Cave. His backstory is revealed through a journal found in the chamber, and the fight unfolds in 2 stages. As the boss nears defeat, a Daedric parasite emerges from his body, adding an extra layer of difficulty. Next up is Revealing Rune, a simple yet intriguing quest mod that delves into the hidden backstory of Rune, a member of the Thieves Guild. Rune has always mentioned a mysterious past. He was shipwrecked with nothing but a few small stones inscribed with runes, but he never knew the true meaning behind them. Now, you can help him uncover the secrets of his past. The quest begins as you offer to help Rune find more information about his history. Your search takes you along the coast of Solitude, where you'll piece together clues about Rune's lineage and the meaning of the runes. Spoilers ahead, but along the way, you'll learn that Rune is the nephew of Gallus Desidenius, adding depth to his connection with the Thieves Guild. This mod expands on a story that was left unfinished in the original game, giving Rune a rich backstory and a sense of closure to his mysterious past. Next up is Boethiah's Calling, alternate questline, a mod that adds a fresh, new exciting twist to the original quest. Remember that moment when you sacrifice an innocent follower to Boethiah? Well, now it's your turn to be the betrayed. The quest begins when you speak to Rudin Falaro, a dark elf at the Braidwood Inn in Kynesgrove, who will initially pose as a friendly priest of Mara, but once you reach your destination, his true intentions will be revealed, and you'll be left fighting for your life. This mod introduces an alternate path where a friend attempts to sacrifice you to Boethiah instead. After being tricked and nearly killed, you'll regain consciousness on the brink of death and set out on a revenge-driven quest to track down the deceiver. Along the way, you'll find clues and hunt your betrayer down to finally get the ebony mail, all without having to kill a loyal follower. Additionally, if Boethiah deems you unworthy of the ebony mail, a dark elf named Mia will hunt you down in the wilderness. Whether you took the alternate or vanilla path, this creates an exciting new layer of challenge and karma for your character. Now venturing into the desolate depths of the Soul Cairn, with more to do in the Soul Cairn. This mod expands the realm of lost souls, offering new stories and choices as you attempt to help 3 wandering spirits, if you can. You take a journey through 5 stages of grief, uncover the Chapel of Love, and aid a desperate marriage, seeking escape before they face the wrath of the Ideal Masters. The Soul Cairn is a realm of torment, ruled by crystal-like entities that ensure no soul truly finds peace. Those who dare to flee are punished, transformed into mindless skeletons to serve their dark paradise. Among the lost, Glendora Masonia and Gavo Antonius both still hold on to hope, but they'll need your help to escape their fate. Meanwhile, Angarian the Bold is searching for his lost memories, and only you can guide him to the truth. They'll all need you by their side on their final journey, or they will be left to wander the abyss forever. Our final mod is a massive mod called Mafala's Curse Whispering Door quest add-on, which expands the Ebony Blade's lore, introducing real consequences for wielding the cursed weapon. In Skyrim's lore, the blade is said to drive its wielder mad, yet this effect was never truly felt until now. This mod adds a functional curse, forcing players to either find a way to destroy the blade or succumb to Mafala's influence. If the blade is in your possession, but remains unused for its dark purpose, Mafala will grow displeased. Her minions, including Moratong assassins and newly added Spider Daedra, will ambush you randomly in the wilderness, leaving behind notes revealing their purpose. These attacks can be delayed by storing the blade, but for those seeking a greater challenge, a hardcore mode prevents dropping it outside of the Ethereum Forge, where you can destroy the artifact if you're using the previously discussed mod, Ethereum Forge Destroys Items. For those using Stress and Fear, a dynamic sanity system which we also covered earlier in the video, this mod integrates seamlessly. Simply carrying the blade will cause rising stress over time. However, betraying your allies and feeding the blade's hunger will ease your suffering, until it's fully empowered, and the madness takes hold. Even trying to give the blade to the Vigilance of Stendarr won't provide an easy escape, as Mafala herself will ensure your fate is sealed. Whether it's for your current playthrough or your next, from expanded questlines and alternate endings, to hidden locations and deeper role-playing opportunities, these mods bring a fresh life to Skyrim in ways big and small. Again, massive thanks to BootDev for sponsoring this video. Head to boot.dev and use my code HEAVYBURNS to get 25% off your entire first year on the annual plan. I truly appreciate you sticking around for this video. If you've made it this far, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.